everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Jennifer with Faber-Castell Creativity for Kids, and I'm here with my friend Meredith. Hi, Meredith. How are you?
I'm very good, Jennifer. It's so nice to be here, and it's so nice for all of you to be joining us today for our Hide and Seek Hydro Dip Rocks Kit. So this is a very exciting class, and if you have this kit, you're going to need a couple things extra, like scissors, a pencil, some water, some paper towels, and maybe some extra paper towels. So why don't you guys go ahead and grab those as I open up our box and see what's inside. All right, so this is a nice heavy box, and we'll be nice and careful opening everything up. So before our class started, I went ahead and opened up some of these bags, but you can use your scissors and open up whatever bags you have in your kit. There we go. Just close that back up. There we are. So what you get in this Hide and Seek Hydro Dip Rock Painting Kit, of course, the rocks. And look at all these nice shaped rocks. Look at this huge one here. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Okay, we get our handy dandy instructions. And you might notice when you open them up, they're in a couple different languages. So you'll just turn to the language that you can speak or read. We have our little sponge, our stickers that we'll be putting on the back of our rock before you hide them, and our transfers. So we have all these really cool patterns of hydro dip transfers. And you can see they're all in circle shapes, all different colors and textures, and they're really fun to look at. So as you're looking through them, you might want to pick out a couple that you want to start with. So if you do not have this kit though, we recommend using a very thin paper, like a napkin that might have a really pretty pattern on it, and getting some glue that you can water down, or even Mod Podge that you can find at Michael's. And you might be able to find some of those patterned napkins at Michael's, possibly in like the wedding section or the party section. So if you don't have this kit, you can still play along with something like a napkin or like a very thin patterned paper and some Mod Podge or some watered down glue. So let's begin. All right, so getting started. Please rinse and dry your rocks thoroughly. Okay, so let's do that. We'll go ahead and take a couple, and I'll put this out here so you can see what I'm doing. Just rinsing off our rocks, drying them, and that's just because some of the rocks have a little bit of dust on them. You can see it coming off really easily like that though. And because rocks are found in nature, and sometimes nature is dusty. So there we go. And it's not even really making our water dirty, so it's all good. And so,
While you wash the rocks, Just so everyone knows, this is one of our newest rock painting, well, not rock painting, but rock kits at Michael's. So right now there's a couple other kits at Michael's as well that you can play with. But we love rock painting. It's such a fun activity to do. I love hiding rocks and having someone find them and making someone's special day by finding a really happy, kind rock. What about you, Meredith?
I love doing it too, and that's exactly what I was going to mention is that we have a lot of really great rock painting and hide and seek rock kits. And like you said, this is our newest one, so I'm super excited to be showing you this technique because it's so different than our rock painting techniques. So this one, I'll just mention, hydro dip comes from the word water. So hydro meaning water, dip rocks. So we're using water as part of the process for decorating our rocks. So that's why it's so different than just painting. We're actually using water to do this technique. And speaking of, I think we're ready to start that technique right now. We'll put this stuff out of the way. Okay, so next, it says you'll need a pair of scissors, like I mentioned, a pen or pencil, a small plastic bowl of water, and paper towels. Fill your bowl with water. The next step, wet your paper towel and sponge and have it near your work area. So I'm not going to wet my paper towel just yet. We're going to go ahead and move on to step number 1 for actually doing this technique. So lay the rock on the white side of a design. So I love this butterfly design. I'll show you guys how pretty it is. It's so colorful and very appropriate for summer. So we're going to use this one first. I'll put the other ones aside. And it says to lay it down and put one of your rocks on the white side of the paper. Now you're going to trace around your rock. And it doesn't have to be exact, but you do want to leave some area from the edge of your rock up to where your line is. And I'll hold this up because it might be hard to see my line. So you can see a little bit better how much area I left around the rock. Now before I cut this out, and actually in the instructions, it does say to cut it out right now, but sometimes it's easier to remove this clear paper before you cut it. So that's what I'm going to do next. So just to review what we did. We washed off our rocks, we dried them, we chose a pattern that we like, we put the rock on the white side, the white part of the pattern paper. We took our pencil and drew around it, leaving some area between the edge of the rock and our circle. And the next thing we're going to do is remove this clear sheet. It's like a protective sheet of plastic that's protecting the pattern paper. So we're just going to remove this nice and carefully and put that aside. And now we're going to flip it back over. You can feel it's a little bit sticky, but that's okay. It actually helps stick to the rock that way. And we're going to cut around the circle. And you just want to be careful so you're not touching the pattern too much, because it will lose its stickiness the more you touch it, and you might rip it if it gets stuck to your finger a little bit too much. So just be careful while you're cutting it, but it's not too difficult to do. So you can see this is what it looks like. And we'll put the rest over here. And moving on to the next step. Holding the transfer by the white border, submerge the design in water. Count to 15 until it is completely wet. Okay, so we're gonna move our stuff out of the way. Put some paper towels down. And submerge our design for 15 seconds. Whoop. Okay, so as it curls, that is completely normal. You can kind of keep it from curling onto itself by just holding it with your other finger. So it curled up immediately when it went into the water, but you can just uncurl it with your finger and it kind of stays just like that, and it's no problem. So I think it's been probably 10 seconds. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. All right. So the next step is to remove the transfer from the water and let it sit on your paper towel with the design facing up, just like this. Now you put your rock right on your design, right on top of it, just like that. And then you can use your paper towel as a way to wrap your design around your rock. And you want to bring it together kind of all at the same time, wrapping the design around your rock. Now, it's really hard to show this on the camera, but I can kind of show you what's happening. The transfer is moving from the white paper onto the rock. And at this point, when you see it coming off of the white transfer paper, you can actually just help it with your fingers. You don't actually need to hold on to the paper towel as much. You can just kind of help it along and use your finger.
This is so fun, Meredith. I love that you're not getting really messy, you know?
Oh, right. Yeah, this is really easy. And it's like you said, it's not very messy. And you just kind of help the little transfer get onto your rock.
It reminds me of a tattoo that you put on your arm or something.
You're right. I'm gonna just remove it all like that so you can see. And then you can just spread it out. You'll see there's a little bit of wrinkle in there, but you can just easily smooth it out like that. And look at how bright these colors are of these awesome butterflies.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and if you want, you can wet your sponge a little bit and help smooth out some of those wrinkles as well. There we go. And just to let you know, this might take a little bit of practice because it is a new technique. You might need to practice a little bit. So your first one might not turn out exactly how you want it, but it'll still be really cool to let dry and then hide for someone else to find. So ta-da! This is what you end up with. So once it all dries, we'll flip it over and we'll put one of our stickers on the back of it. All right, so let's see what design we should do next. I'll lay them all out and maybe one of our viewers can recommend the next pattern that we should do.
Sounds good. Everyone, if you want to pick a pattern, you can put it in your Q&A.
So we have rainbow scales, we have rainbow stripes, we have something that looks kind of like fireworks, we have space, outer space, we have stars, we have a marble effect, a tie-dye effect, one that looks like water. Ooh, this one's kind of like a tropical theme, a different type of marbling theme. This one looks like slime.
Yeah, so we had a request for the slime, the fireworks, space, tie-dye,
Oh,
lots of ideas.
oh, okay. So which one should we do?
Galaxy, rainbow. I think we've had a friend pick every single one.
All right, then let's just go with your favorite one, Jennifer. Which one should we
Well,
do?
I see rainbow a couple times from our friend, so let's do the rainbow.
Oh, okay. We'll do the rainbow. All right. All right. So to make this easy, we're going to cut the sheet in half and we will use the striped rainbow. All right. We'll put that one aside. Okay. So just like what we did before, we're gonna flip our paper over. We're gonna choose a rock. Ooh, this one will be really cool. So let's see, if I do it like that, the stripes will go across the rock like that, and I think that'll look awesome. Okay, so we'll trace around our rock. And I'll show you that again. So make sure the rock is in the center, just like that. And why we're doing that is so when we transfer the pattern paper over it, it comes up onto the edges of the rock. So that's why we leave a little bit of a margin around the rock itself. And then the next thing, we'll remove the clear paper, the protective sheet. And then we'll flip it over and cut out the shape we made. So I wonder, is anyone out there actually trying it with the printed napkins? Because I'd like to try that at some point as well. There you go. And then we'll go ahead and put it in the water for 15 seconds. And remember, it'll probably curl up, but that's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And this one's a bigger one, so I'm gonna leave it in here just for a little bit longer because, I don't know, I feel like the bigger ones might need a little bit more soaking. And you're right, Jennifer, it's very similar to the process of putting one of those little fake tattoos on where you get it wet and you put it up against your skin and then it transfers onto your skin. So we're kind of doing that with our rocks. So we're giving our rocks these awesome printed tattoos.
What is it possible to have it in the water for too long?
That's a great question.
It could slide off.
There's a small chance that if you're not holding the printed part, it might slide off of the backer paper. So you don't want to have it in there too long. A great question. All right, so we have our wet pattern. We'll put our rock onto it, just like that. Oh, wow. You know what? I can actually see it sliding around already. So that was a really great question. And since I see it sliding around already, I'm not even going to use the paper towel. I'm just going to go ahead and flip the transfer paper up onto the rock. And you can kind of see it's already sticking. So I'll see if I can hold it up so you can see it's already sticking on here. So we didn't even need the paper towel because we may have let it be in the water a little bit long. but it still worked out really well. Oh, I can't wait to take this off and show you. Ooh, perfect. Look at how cool that looks. Oh, it looks so
So
pretty.
bright.
Yeah, it's very bright. And this one actually has less wrinkles than my butterfly one. So I would say I'm improving with this process. So I'm going to hold it up to the front.
Practice
Can you
makes
see it?
perfect.
Let's see, can we? Ooh, see? All right, so this camera has a little bit better lighting, so you can actually see the colors a little bit better, and they're really nice and bright. And I'll actually hold up our butterfly one too, so you can see how bright those colors are too. So super successful, and I really love this process because it's so easy. So we'll just set this one aside to dry as well. And right now I'm going to just take a second and show you guys one that I did before, or one that was done before. And as I was talking before the class, this one kind of looks like slime. And I don't know if anyone out there has seen the movie Ghostbusters, but there's a character in there. His name is Slimer. So if you have a permanent marker or pen or even paint, you can add to your rocks and maybe give them a little face. So I'm going to try and make this look like the character of that movie named Slimer. And just give him a little grumbly smile. Because I don't exactly remember what he looks like, but I think this pattern definitely makes me think of him. Slimer, I've been slimed. And we'll go like this because he's kind of happy and kind of cute. And like that. And this is our version of Slimer. So this is actually, this would be a really fun group activity. And I'm thinking about Halloween only because of Slimer. But if you had a bunch of kids, this would be really easy to give each kid a rock and a transfer, and everybody could make their own hydro dip rock, let it dry, and then they can add any little details with their permanent markers or even paint. So that's fun. All right, so let's do another one. How about if we do the one that looks like a galaxy? So let's see, and this is important too. You might need to see if your rock will actually fit onto the transfer, or I should say the transfer will fit onto the rock. So this guy is really big, and I think it would be awesome to have a rock this large with a galaxy on it. So I'm going to use this rock for this one, but I have to be careful to make sure that all of the pattern will stay on here. So when I'm tracing around my rock, I'll make sure that I center it in the center of the circle so I don't have any blank spots on my rock. All right. So to do that, oh, you can kind of see a little bit of the circle kind of coming through the back. So I'm just going to use that to place the rock right in the center. And then I'll trace around it to the shape of the rock. Just like that. And I'll show you guys. There we go. Just like that. And the next step is removing our protective sheet and cutting it out. There's our scissors. And I don't have any holographic star stickers on me, but that is how I would decorate this rock. I would probably use maybe a paint pen, which paint pens are really fun and easy to use, and those can be found at Michael's as well. So after you put your transfer on your rock, if you have paint pens or even just paint and a brush, you could paint like Saturn, or you could paint a little spaceship or even like an alien or something on it. Okay, so we're gonna do it like that. We'll put it in here. And again, 15 seconds. And like you pointed out last time, if you put it in too long, it might just start sliding off. So I'll try and be closer to 15 seconds this time, although I haven't been counting because I've been talking. So I'm just gonna kind of guess 15 seconds might be around right now. Here we go. Okay. And we'll put our rock just like that. Ooh, and it did, it slid again. So I actually really like this better, so I can see without the paper towel, I can actually just make it go up here onto the rock and then use my fingers to really press it onto the rock. And I know it's probably a little hard for you to see, but I'll hold it up again. Kind of just, I'm gonna just slide this one off like that. All right. So with this one, the transfer was a little bit small for the size rock that we had, but I don't mind it at all because it's a huge rock and I think it'll definitely get someone's attention out in nature. So with this, if you do have parts of your rock that are still showing and your transfer didn't reach all the way to the edge, you can always use some paint and try and match the color of your transfer, and that would work. And sometimes crayons work as well. And I'm going to use my sponge and just spread it out again, just a little bit. Cool. And if we could do a front view so people can see the colors again. Ooh, isn't that cool? Now just imagine this with some holographic stickers on it, or some sparkly paint, or like glitter. You could add some glue and glitter, and that would look amazing. All right, so another thing you could do to decorate your rocks after you hydro dip them is add your name or your friend's name to it. And then you could specifically hide it for them to find. So for this one, I'll put my friend Mary's name on it. And I'll make the A look like a heart because that's fun. But any kind of paint or this is a permanent marker, works really well on these. So, ta-da! I'll show you guys. Mary. That would be super sweet. Okay, let's do a front view because I like the colors better on this camera. Yay.
That's adorable. You can even use them as placeholders at a table.
Oh, that would be super cute too, yeah. So that's another great idea. So if you don't want to hide your rocks out in nature and you want to use them for a party or something like that, you could add people's names to it really easy. So let's do one more. Which one should we do? Fireworks. Let's see, the tie-dye. How about I don't think I have a tie-dye one out here, so let's do a tie-dye. All right. Oh my goodness. I wonder if you could do a half and half one. Should we try it?
Yeah.
What do you think? Yeah? Okay. We'll try and do half and half. I've never done this before, so I'm excited to give it a go. So I'll use a little bit of a larger rock, and I'll just use these two because they're right in front of me right here. So what I'm gonna do is one at a time. So we will trace our rock just like we always do. This rock is really round. Okay. So we traced it on this one, and we're going to do the same on this one. Okay. All right. Now we're going to remove our plastic sheet, but maybe only halfway. So I'm going to cut, oops, I'm going to cut our transfer in half, just like this. And I left the sheet on half of it just so I could use it again if this works. And again, I don't know if it will work, so we're all trying something new all together right now. And then we're going to do the same thing with this one. Just uncover half of it. Cut it in half. Put it to the side. Okay, and then we have to actually cut out where we drew the outline of the rock. So Jennifer, what do you think? Do you think this is going to work out?
I do, yes.
All right, there's one. And here's our other one. Okay. Now we'll go ahead and put this one in. I'm going to move this off of the paper towel just in case we need to use the paper towel technique. So I'll put this in for 15 seconds. We'll uncurl it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So really in 15 seconds, it definitely comes uncurled, no problem. All right, and then we're gonna just put, ooh, it's already kind of stuck to my finger. We're gonna put our rock this way on it. And as you might have seen, it's already starting to slide off of the backer paper. So I'm just gonna go with it and continue to just wrap it up like we did with the other ones. Just kind of wrap it, wrap it. It's already coming off, so that's really helpful. And wrappy, wrap, wrap. So here's half of it is already done. Okay, cool. Now it's time to do the other side. So same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay. Now we'll put that down. Ooh, yeah. Okay, I think it's ready to go. And we'll put it face down on the other half, the rock that isn't done. And I'm gonna overlap it a little bit just to see what that looks like. Cool. Okay, and again, I saw the transfer move off of the white paper. So again, I'm just gonna go with it and see if it sticks. Yep. and it's sticking, and I love when that happens because I feel like I have a little more control over it that way. And you just make sure it sticks all the way on and just kind of slide it right over and use your finger to just smooth it down. Okay. Cool. Okay, so we got a half C's. We got half water and half tie-dye. Okay, let's get a front shot.
It looks awesome.
Okay, so if I knew that this worked out so well, I think I would have done like half rainbow, half solar system, half outer space type thing, because this looks awesome. I love it. So I think we just came up with a new technique here live on camera. How exciting. I'm glad everyone was here to witness that. So it just proves that it's fun to play around, and you can really make your own rocks as unique as you want by mixing patterns if you want to try that. So any more recommendations or any other requests, I should say, Jennifer?
Transfer on and show them transfer on the back.
No, I don't think so.
Oh yeah.
The tracking sticker.
So since some of our rocks have dried, let's go ahead and show what you do after all of your rocks have dried so people can find them in nature and know where to go to see more rocks online. So this is our little creativity or hashtag creativity for kids sticker. And if you go online, you can see a bunch of different painted rocks and hydro dipped rocks and paint pour rocks that other people have hid and found and shared. So you just put that on the back, and then you can go out to, I would say, like your, I don't know, the nearest park or playground or your neighborhood, wherever you want to go, and you can hide your rocks for other people to find them. And I think that was the last tip I had to share. So what do you think, Jennifer? Are you excited to try some hydro dip rocks yourself?
Absolutely. And this is such a fun process. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And don't forget to share your rocks on Facebook or Instagram. Have your adult friends help you out with that. And we would love to see what you made. And check out Michael's. We've got a couple of these rock kits. So many fun activities for you to do and hide your rocks. What do you think, Meredith?
I think this was so much fun, and thank you to everybody who logged in to do our hydro dip rocks kit with us. And I look forward to doing more. So make sure to tune into michaels.com again and join me for some more classes. Bye.